Good evening, and we're delighted to be joined by Joint Manager of Tamworth FC, Gary Smith. Good evening, Gary.
Good evening, Kevin.
Thank you for joining us. Gary, last time we sat down like this, you'd just been given the job until the end of last season. Clearly things went very well. Now it's a new season with all the anticipation that brings. I just wanted to ask you really how you feel, because I know you've had a lot going on personally of late as well.
Yeah, I've had to get over the death of my mother. May she rest in eternal paradise. She was 91 years old. Last 3 months of her life were painful, and I had to sit and watch my mum suffer for that period of time. She's now out of pain. We've laid her to rest, and obviously still a difficult time for us as a family, but we are close knit, and so we're there to support each other. We're there supporting each other. So for me, obviously, sad time. My mum was a lover of football. She has been to the Lamb as well before to watch me play. So special time, special moment, but we are getting there as a family, like I said.
And I've seen the difference in you, Gary, seeing you down here over the last few weeks. You're normally so bubbly and want to do these kind of interviews, and it's took you a little while to get to this point, and I guess it puts things in perspective, really.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not easy. Losing your mother, it's not an easy thing to go through, and the pain of watching the rest of my siblings and all my nephews and nieces going through that pain as well. It wasn't easy, and I wasn't, feeling 100%, still not 100%, over it, but the family are pushing me to continue with my football, and so they're very supportive, and I can only thank them for that, and that's given me the motivation to continue as well. The fact that I know my mum was a avid lover of football, and like I said, she has been to the Lamb, and she was somebody that followed my career as I continued to play. So special times, special moments. So I'm hoping to have a few of those special moments this season, in memory of my mum.
Whenever I see you look up to the sky, I'll know why. Brilliant. Okay. Gary, you told me last time we sat down that you could hardly believe the situation in terms of you were Tamworth manager. Has it sunk in yet? Does the boot fit?
I don't think about it as much as I did when we first were given the job on a temporary basis, and then obviously permanently until the end of the season. Now obviously we know the situation, we know where we are, we know what's expected, and we know what we want to do as a management team, myself, Andy and Tom. And that's to get the best for Tamworth Football Club, to give the supporters something to be happy about, to be proud about, and that's the goal, that's the aim, that's what we're aiming for, that's what we're pushing for, and that's what we're building towards. So hopefully we can hit the ground running and get off to a fantastic start, because I think that's going to be a very important thing for us this season, to get off to a good start, and then that will enable us to continue to push our way from there.
It's very different now, just in a few short months since you took temporary charge to now, and having your own remit, of course, being permanent managers now. I think the expectancy is there now. Of course, it's a new season to get Tamworth promoted. Does it feel any different to you?
No, I still got the memories, obviously, of what we did, what we achieved in the 15 games of last season. But we also are aware that now that counts for nothing. It is a fresh start. Everybody's starting the season the same. Every team is going to be the same at the start. So, last season now is out the window. We cannot rest on the laurels of last season. We know we need to continue what we started and progress as far as possible as we can, and that's the aim, as I said before.
Okay, well, when we spoke previously, something that you said was that you insisted on players meet and greet, I think you termed it, mixing with the fans, having a drink after the game, that sort of thing. I just wondered if that was part of the negotiations with players that you're signing for this season.
Yeah, that's gonna stay the same. I think it's vitally important that the players, endear themselves to the fans, because the fans are the ones that pay their wages. They're coming in, week out. So I think it's always important to give the fans back, a little bit of the love that they show by coming here week in, week out. So that won't change. That will still be one of the things that the players will be doing. Even with the junior lambs section as well, we'll be making sure that the players are doing all that type of work. That will continue for definite.
So far we've signed the likes of Greg Casaboni, Rhys Honus, Nathaniel Rowe-Turner, James Fry, Aaron Ford, Dan Creaney. It's a bit of an overhaul. How do you feel that the recruitment has gone so far, and are there any key areas that you still want to strengthen?
We are very happy with what we brought in. Obviously, we lost Chris late. That was a goal machine for us last season. Obviously, losing him, we knew we had to replace the number of goals, and we feel that we've done that by bringing in the likes of Rhys Honus, Greg Casaboni. Rhys, obviously, as you know, was one of the top scorers in this division last season, winning the league with Kettering. So we're hoping that he'll continue that goal scoring run here at Tamworth. So he's one of the players we're looking at to get us off to the ground running. And obviously Greg Casaboni, everybody knows what a big, strong, powerful footballer he is. Got great skill, good technique, and he also knows where the back of the net is as well. And he's a very good supply line.
Yeah, I think it was something like 14 goals, wasn't it, for Greg in a mid-table side last season, coming off the wing, so it's a good return.
Yeah.
So, leading on to my next question, really, in terms of players that we lost, you mentioned Chris Lake, also lost Aman Verma, who had an injury hit season last time around, and Joel Kettle, of course. But do you feel that we've replaced what we've lost, or even improved?
I think we've replaced all the players that we have lost. I do feel we have replaced them. Apart from one, there's probably one key area that we're still working on at this moment in time.
Christian Green,
Christian Green as well. Yeah, we're working on that one position as we're speaking now. We've got a couple of players in on trial that actually play in that particular position. So we're looking at them over the next 4 or 5 pre-season matches, and then obviously we're going to have to make a decision as to whether we're going to sign any of them.
Yeah, when we spoke to Thomas Bailey actually, and we asked a similar question about the right back position, and Andrew Danish, and both said the same, and that they're quite. If the season started now and we didn't have a specialist right back come in, and we went with the youngsters, as in Rashan Francis or Carl Ambris, or even Harrison James, we'd be quite comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean, we're not overly worried about it. It's not something that's overly worrying us or panicking us. Obviously, we've got great faith in the youngsters here at Tamworth Football Club, hence why you'll see quite a few of the lads that were in the under-21s last season are actually training with the first team now. Harrison James, obviously part of the academy, he's got first team experience behind him. There's a couple of players who are in the academy now, the scholars who will be playing in the development squad. Will be keeping a watchful eye over them as well, just in case at any given moment we may need an extra player. We know we've got the resources to draw on at the football club, so we're quite happy with the youngsters that are coming through, because there's some very talented players here at the football club. I know they're in here daily, they're getting excellent coaching, they've got great facilities, they're watching what the first team are doing, and you can see the hunger and the desire in them as well, so that will stand them in good stead going forward as and when we require them.
I was speaking to Jamie Ralph actually, and he was explaining how it all works and how these players only really have to impress 3 or 4 people, but they're in regular contact with, so it sounds like it works really well. And I also asked him if there were any potential little sort of rough diamonds really that were in the development squad that you felt could break through to the first team this season, as we've seen previously as well? There must be one or two that you've got your eye on, Gary.
Yeah, obviously, you know, Kyle Ambris made his debut for the first team at the back end of last season. He's trained with the first team since the beginning of pre-season. He's played in the one game and done very well so far. Rashawn Francis is another one. We've got faith in the two of them. James Medford, Delano Reid are two others that we've kept at the football club as well. Believe there's a lot of potential in those two as well, so they're two players that we don't want to lose. We're going to keep them here at the football club, and they'll be part of the first team squad as well. Young Alex Smith is another one, part of the development squad that is an eye-catching footballer for a young 17-year-old. I think he's got a bright future in the game. He's learning his trade right here at the football club, which is fantastic. And obviously he's somebody, like I said, we'll keep a watchful eye over. Alex, he's already got a little bit of first team experience from last season. Played in the staff senior cup for the first team, so you can see the hunger and the desire in him as well. And you look at him, you wouldn't believe he's only 17. You put him in with the first team squad and amongst the first team players, and he's definitely not out of place. So, like I said, the talent coming through at the football club is fantastic. You know, and I know that there's other younger players. Declan Sommel's one that I had last season in the under 21s. I think he's got a bright future. You know, Sam Walton, Lewis Kelly. You know, these are all top draw footballers who will go on to do well for Tamworth Football Club. Aidan James, the young goalkeeper as well. So, like I said, the conveyor belt is there, and it's working. You know, we are producing. The academy are doing the jobs that they have to do. Mike Fowler's doing a fantastic job with the young lads, and you can see it. You know, the talent that's on show when they're playing.
And of course, this season they'll be playing in a men's league, an open age league, as compared to what they have recent seasons in their sort of academy age groups. So, being in the Midland Football League Division 4. Will be a better test really to stand them in good stead for first team football. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I think this is the right time to be blooding them at this, you know, level of men's football. 18, 19, 17, you know, it's a great start for them, and I think that will stand them in good stead as well. They'll get an idea of the tempo and the pace of men's football, the strength of, you know, men's football as well. So that will stand them in good stead as well. And then obviously, as and when we need them and they come in and they work with the first team, they'll get all the specialist coaching that Andrew delivers, and that again will stand them in good stead, and that puts them, you know, in with a chance of playing with us without ever looking out of place.
Okay. Right, a little insight now please, Gary. We're just at the start of pre-season now. By which point during pre-season do you ideally want to have your starting 11 nailed down?
After speaking with Andrew and Tom, we put together and said, you know, by at least 2.5 weeks before the actual season starts, we want to have the full squad together, not just the 11. We want to have the full squad so that we can actually then begin the proper process of working with just that squad, because we know that's the squad we're going into the season with. So by 2.5-3 weeks before we actually start the season, we should have the full squad in place by then.
So that really only gives us maybe 2-3 more friendlies than where we are right now to be in that position. Yeah,
there's going to have to be some tough decisions made on certain players that we've got here on trial, obviously. We can't sign everybody. We'd love to. We cannot do it. Like I said, tough decisions. We're going to have to sit down around the table and discuss what we feel is going to be best for us going forward as a squad, as a team, and as a football club.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, as always.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Viewers, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel already, then please do so. It is free, so don't be scared by the word subscribe, and of course you'll be notified of any content as it goes up. Thank you very much for watching.